Hello all. Welcome to the webinar on e-commerce trends and career opportunities by Miss Rohini Deshpande. She is a senior technical program manager at Carousell, Singapore. I am Tarnath HB, your host of the event. Super excited to have you all. Before we begin, remind you one thing. We are recording today's session. This is a safe space. Joining us today, she is a superwoman with attention to details and impeccable execution. Today, she will be sharing us the e-commerce trends and the career opportunities in it. So before we begin, let's know about our today's guest. So she is having a 14 years of experience in IT industry covering programs, project management, product, scrum master, open source, architect committees. She was a head of technology for Express by Lazada at Lazada Alibaba. Before to that, she was building security software at HP. Today, she is working as a senior technical project manager at Carousell. We have thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am. So over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. So let me. This was my first slide. So now we are seeing a very negative situation where the COVID has really played havoc on lives of people, and lots of people are losing jobs. So the hospitality industry, the airline industry, everything is affected. So there are lot of job losses all over the world. So um, we there's one industry which has not actually bear the brunt of this, and that industry is e-commerce. It's growing leaps and bounds even during this COVID situation. That's because you have been asked to lock down yourself. You've been asked not to go out. You've been asked not to mingle with people. So e-commerce is suddenly picking up quite a lot in all the countries with the current situation. So my talk here is about the basics of e-commerce. What are the trends? Like why is e-commerce one of the industries where it is set to grow for next few years? And also I'll be covering certain career opportunities within the e-commerce industry. Mm, Let me start. Okay, so I've already covered what the agenda will be. And last 10 minutes we'll keep for questions. But if there are any burning questions that you have and you want the answer right away, just post your comments and then I'll be able to answer them. So let's go. So about me, I am from Bangalore. I was born and brought up in Bangalore, and major part of my education and life has been spent in Bangalore. Bangalore, after my 12th, I did my engineering in computer science in Manad College of Engineering. You might ask, like, from Bangalore, why did I go to Happy? It's a very simple story. I wanted a computer science in very specific colleges, and my father wanted to get a PhD. So there I went to Hassan. I think it was really good because I studied in Hassan and hostel. I kind of opened up there. Otherwise, I was this shy girl who was always putting my sister in front of me for everything else. And post computer science in Hassan, when I passed out, the job market was really bad because of the dot-com burst, and there were hardly any. None of them got any jobs out of college, so it was a hard time. But then I started giving interviews, and I landed up a job in Talisman, which is a CRM company in Bangalore. But 6 months later, I really didn't like it. Because it was a QA job and I really wanted to be a developer. So I joined HP. At that time, HPE was one company. So I started off as a C++, developer, working on HP UX, that is the Unix platform of HP. It was really good because I was working on VI editor and all programming, and working on Unix was just great. There's so much to learn there. After that, I've been working on multiple projects. Some were from open source. Sorry. Can you hear me? Yeah. So after that, during my HP time, I also did marketing PGDBA, program from Symbiosis. My last role in HP was engineering manager, managing 16 people and building security, that is two-factor authentication for HP OneView, that is the data center management tools. After that, I moved to Singapore, and this was a new a country, and as well as my career, because I moved from enterprise software to e-commerce. This is when I used to buy a lot from Amazon back in Bangalore, but I really didn't know how the e-commerce industry works, or what went behind what we see. So I joined Lazada. It is e-commerce. It's similar. It's like Flipkart in India. So it's a Southeast Asian company, later taken over by Alibaba. Alibaba is one of the biggest e-commerce giants of China, and I worked there. It gave me real this thing to see how the e-commerce market is in the Southeast Asia region, and also the innovations that have happened in China that are now coming via Alibaba to the Southeast Asian countries. It also gave me a chance to travel around the Southeast Asian countries, and it was just amazing to see their lifestyle, and how Indian culture has actually historically has spread to these Southeast Asian countries. Even one of the biggest temples in the world, Angkor Wat, is a temple where you can see Ramayana and Mahabharata and other things there. So yeah, a lot of learnings there. And currently I'm in Carousell. It is an online marketplace, a Singapore-based company, similar to OLX. So yeah, and I have two kids, 10 years and 5 years girls, and my husband. All of us are here in Singapore now. Okay, that's about me. Let's start about e-commerce. So what is e-commerce? It's actually anything you buy or sell electronically over the internet, of course now. So what are the basics that you need for internet? You first of all need demand. Like if there's no demand, if people are not ready to buy on internet, on the online platform, there's no use of it. So demand is required. Then you need connectivity. That means right now it's internet, either through mobile or through laptop or through desktop. You need connectivity. Behind the back, what we really don't know, what most of us don't see, is the logistics. It plays a major role in the e-commerce, because that's where you do the warehousing. Like you stock your products in a warehouse, and then there's cross-border logistics, where the goods from all over the world, either through ship or through flights or through land transport, are coming into the warehouses. And then from warehouses you have pickers and packers who actually get your order form, whatever you have ordered. They pick it up for you into their baskets, and then they actually send you to the last mile delivery. That is the couriers or the post that actually delivers the parcel to your home. So there's a lot of changes taking place even in the logistics industry. There's a lot of automation. There's robotics, where you don't have humans picking up all the things that you ordered, but rather robotic arms going and picking up your order and packing them. Then you have payments. Now, payments is a very important, or financial, industry is also a very important part of this whole e-commerce industry. Um, and there are multiple, digital payments and things coming up right now. And last but not the least, the very important factor in e-commerce is technology. So, how it actually works is you have e-commerce working on a client-server model, where the website or the app that you have on your phone, what you launch on your browser is the client, and then you connect to the server. Server is what serves you the web pages, or serves you the products that you see on your app. That's very simple, but you can read more if you are interested. And then, yeah, all these. Uh, yeah, so that was on e-commerce. Moving on, let's see what are the e-commerce types. So one is the B2B, which is business to business. Uh, Business to business e-commerce. So here, what it means is businesses directly sell to other businesses online. So one of the pioneers of B2B industry was Alibaba.com, which actually started in China long back, I think around 1999, where they started selling products like, the business people in China brought their products online for the first time. So they could reach out to a very large market in China and in the world. So this really opened the doors for China and Chinese products. Next is B2C. This you all are very well aware. The famous companies are, Amazon, Flipkart, and then Carousell, the company I work with right now, is also a B2C company. So here businesses bring in their products, like sellers bring in their products on these platforms, and then they sell to the end customer or the consumer. And then there are C2C. C2C means customer to customer. So some of them are Carousell and OLX, where you as a customer, as a user, can also list your products and sell them. Then these actually are the three main types, but currently there are a lot of other terms, so I just thought I'll put them here. It's social commerce, that is your social websites, that is Facebook and Instagram. So here you actually reach out to your social network, and then you do the commerce there. So if you don't want something, you're shifting your house or something like that, you will just list your click photos, list your products on Facebook, and sell them there. After that, there's also m-commerce. M-commerce is nothing but mobile commerce, and WhatsApp by Facebook. It introduced WhatsApp for Business, which actually allows you to do business via WhatsApp. Yeah, so these are the types of e-commerce. Are there any questions online, or can I continue? Okay. So coming to history of e-commerce, I'll just open it here so that I can. So e-commerce, if you look back at the history, it actually depended on internet. So when internet was formed is 1972, starting of internet, and then it went on. You had payment systems which were supported, and then you had Amazon, which launched its first website to sell books, and it was in 1995. Later, we also had eBay, which eBay is the auction website, and then we had PayPal, which is an payment system, and that was happening in the West, whereas in Asia itself, we had Alibaba, who came up in 1999. And then it's history, like there are a lot of e-commerce companies right now, and there's a lot of competition happening in the industry. Coming to Indian e-commerce, it's very interesting. that Indian e-commerce got a boost by a government company. Uh, any guesses? It is um, it is government to G2C, government to consumers. That is IRCTC. So this was one of the very beginning e-commerce which happened, and it was for booking railway tickets. So before that, there were some companies that came into picture like Rediff and India Shopping, Bazi. Bazi later was taken over by eBay. But IRCTC was something which made a mark. It was something which changed how people actually book their tickets rather than standing in long queues in railway stations just for booking railway ticket. I'm sure like none of you might have remembered, but yeah, I do remember it was such a difficult thing to get railway tickets, and this really eased that. Next came the airway industries, where airline industries. First was Air Deccan. It not only revolutionized how people flew in India, because even a common man could then fly, but actually they went online, and post that all the airway booking, airline bookings went online, and there was no looking back. There were many companies later like Make My Trip, Yatra, which came online. Flipkart was another product-based Indian company which made a mark in e-commerce. It had a lot of innovation in it, and it built the platform or the e-commerce for the Indian market. Very important. Um, and post that, e-commerce is just growing leaps and bounds in India. Then you had a lot of companies, Myntra, Snapdeal and Jabong, and then Amazon entered, and now there are, a lot of competition in India. Coming back. So what's the future of e-commerce? I would really say e-commerce is a evergreen industry for next few years. It's not going anywhere down. It's just growing. And then it's like in 2014 to 2021, you can see the race. Projected increase from 1.3 trillion in 2014 to 4.5 trillion in 2021. So it is an industry which is going to grow. And with the COVID situation, the online e-commerce has penetrated like never before, and it is going to increase like from 20 to 25. It's going to increase 25%. So here actually in Singapore, I've seen during the COVID time, the governments here actually helped the small sellers and the food stall people who were really impacted during the COVID situation because they couldn't open their shops to go online. They really gave 60 to 90% of the cost for every seller to go online, and this means a lot of new sellers came onto e-commerce platforms, and also people started using e-commerce platforms for their everyday eating out or dining out things. They couldn't dine out, they couldn't eat out, but they got it delivered home. So we had a huge number of sellers and buyers coming on to e-commerce platform like never before. Let's see some statistics. So we have worldwide the percentage change from last year. Asia Pacific is the highest, because I will tell you later, but that's because the population is a lot in Asia Pacific, and according to the population, there's a lot of mobile phones and internet penetration that's happening in Asia Pacific. So the percentage change of growth in Asia Pacific is the highest. Latin America, Middle East, Africa. I think Africa is not yet there where Asia Pacific is right now, in terms of internet penetration and mobile and other requirements for e-commerce industry, but it is coming up to speed. And North America, Western Europe, it's already mature market. There is growth, however, but not up to the levels of Asia Pacific. Coming to countries, Mexico, India, Philippines. Now these are the countries which is having the major growth. India, of course, because the population, and also the percentage of population which is coming online every year. Let's see the internet and mobile penetration. So this shows the internet penetration by region. So if you see the West, the American, the European, these countries already the internet penetration is very good, and therefore the e-commerce industry there is also very mature. Coming to Asia, you can see that in Asia, other than countries like Singapore, China, Japan, the internet penetration is not very high. It is growing, but it's not very high. So the e-commerce market is also expected to grow exponentially in the Asian market. You can see Southeast Asia, it's the internet penetration is better than the South Asia, where India and its neighboring countries are. So these are the countries where e-commerce is going to grow a lot. Coming to Africa, it is quite, internet penetration is going to grow, but not at the rate of, the Southeast Asia or the Southern Asia. So what trends we are seeing is the American, European and China, they have already matured e-commerce markets where a lot of more innovation is happening because e-commerce as such is already spread. And in these countries, e-commerce is also going to the nooks and corners, not just in the cities, it is going to the towns and villages. And it's also in the cities, the innovation is happening. Like, there are more new things coming up. So if you see the market, you see the total population and the unique mobile users. It is 124 million, and then the internet users versus India, 1.06 billion people have mobile. So a few years back, if you just recollect, not everybody had a mobile, but now everybody has one or two mobiles. And then the internet also. People previously had mobiles, but it was just for calling. But now I think every person has a mobile and has internet or data along with it, which actually promotes e-commerce. Okay, developed versus developing nations. So this is one very interesting factor because when e-commerce came into the Western countries, it came in when there was internet and desktops and maybe laptops. But mobile was not so much of a thing that time. So the e-commerce actually started with web platforms. But when you see the e-commerce trend now in Asia, in Southeast Asia, India, and other places, we see that the internet penetration on the mobile devices are much more than web, because most people have mobile with internet rather than having a desktop or a laptop with internet, except for cities and few people otherwise you don't have so much widespread of desktop and laptop usage. So the next thing where e-commerce is growing is in the mobile space. So what's happening here in these developing countries is that your the population is getting mobiles. A lot of population is going to own mobile. Next is you're going to have internet on all these devices on the mobiles, and then along with that you're also seeing e-commerce grow and digital payments grow. So it is all happening at once, like not in the West. So in the West it had phases. First came desktops, then came laptops, then came credit cards, then came e-commerce, and then came other innovations on e-commerce. But here in developing nations, you see everything happening at once, and it's very interesting to see how it develops. So, how is it going to go in future? It's definitely innovations. There are a lot of innovations taking place in this industry. We'll go through a few, but very quick note on innovation is even in the times of COVID, what happened was suddenly there was a rise in online e-commerce and grocery ordering. So many people couldn't, even the people like Big Baskets or Red Mart here in Singapore, they couldn't handle this kind of load. And then once they started handling that load, they didn't have enough people to deliver stuff to people's home. So what they did was, the taxi, something like Ola, there's here called Grab and Comfort Grow, who used to um, have taxi services. They were out of jobs. They didn't have people going around. So what they did was the grocery stores or the online grocery stores here actually used that taxi delivery and bike delivery people to actually deliver groceries. So that is the kind of innovation that takes place. Moving deeper, I said mobile has more penetration than desktop. So 73% of e-commerce sales will be made through mobile devices by the end of 2021. That is quite a lot. So what this means is, if you are a company or even you are a small business who's going online, I think first you need to do is you have to see whether on mobile you will be able to see your website, or you will be able to purchase online, or your app is available online on mobile first, because it makes more sense, because the market is more for mobile rather than for web. So many companies are using this strategies. And the other part is because people are coming online for the first time in India, a lot of people are coming online for doing purchases. It means that all these systems, have to work flawlessly, and you have to keep it very simple. You cannot, have a number of clicks and things going around to confuse them. It has to be simple. And many organizations, you cannot do all development at once. So what they do is they go app first strategy. That means you first build anything new on app, release it, and then take time to build the same thing on web if it is needed. Otherwise, many people don't even build it for web nowadays. And to add to it, the Google, what you search on Google and you click, so Google does get those, clicks and advertising and all that for those clicks. But Google is also going to take this mobile first strategy from later this year, from September. That is called SEO strategy. Moving on, payments and digital wallets are part of the e-commerce industry. It is the backbone, because otherwise you cannot pay for your goods. So if you see in India, the penetration of credit card is just 3%. Has a mobile money account like Paytm or something like that is just 2%. Makes online purchases or pays bills online is just 4.3%. So this is one market which is going to change. Even the government is going into digital payments and digital wallets. So this is bound to change with time. I've just listed some of the digital wallet apps in India. So very Indian centric, or even a few years back it was in Southeast Asia, was 70% of online purchases were being done using COD. This is cash on delivery. So you purchase and you get the delivery and then you pay for it. So this actually helped for e-commerce to go into areas where there's no online payment method. So this is a very important step. Later, as you see, like in Southeast Asian market, I've seen that there was COD before. Now they've removed it in many of the businesses, but it will take some time. In India, it is going to be there for some time, and then later, when people move to digital wallets and payments, you will see decrease in COD. And COVID was one situation where, um, temporarily they had stopped accepting COD. So people think like, it's a very bad time, everything is going bad, but at these times is when changes happen in the industry and also when innovation happens in the industry. So because of this, people have moved to paying online. Once they discover they can do online, then why would they go back paying, going to ATM, getting the cash, paying it? No, they wouldn't like it again. So slowly the industry will move. There are innovations happening in this area also. Flipkart has started pay later, where you check out instantly and then you pay later with a 0% interest. Monthly payment is what happens later. So this is only for selected users um, who Flipkart trusts. It is similar to your Kirana account, right? You go there, even in hostel days, many people used to do, right? You go there, you don't carry cash at that moment, but you go there, you buy, and he'll note down in a book, khata. He'll note down, okay, this person has to pay so much for so much. And then he fills up, and monthly he will tell you, oh, you have to pay this much. So it's very similar to that, where Flipkart Pay Later is working. Next, half an hour. Okay, so voice commerce. Now, commerce is going to pick up because people. It's much easier than typing. You just speak and then it recognizes. So some of the um, voice tools that have come in recently are Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri. My daughter, who's 5 years, she really likes Siri or Google Assistant because she's kind and she doesn't scold her or anything like that. So any question she has, or even if she needs to know any spelling, she'll ask Siri, can you tell me the spelling of so and so? So she loves talking to these assistants. Mm, so voice commerce is predicted to grow to 55% by 2022. This is not, people ordering via voice. It does have barriers, like, you will not be able to see the product, or you will not be able to ask questions on the product. So it will mostly be used for repeated items, which will be like grocery and stuff, which you can just give a command and it will be delivered. In India, the voice search has been used a lot. This chart was really eye opener for me too, because I didn't know there was voice search and voice commands usage in India so much. So in many of the e-commerce websites, you can just speak, and the search will will know what you're speaking and actually search for that word. So a lot of people, like people who don't know English, our mother tongue usage is more. They can actually make use of this voice commerce to actually search for products. Visual commerce. So what is visual commerce? Visual commerce is something that you see. It's much easier to relate to things when you see those things. So in your listings, or in the product listing that you see in the e-commerce websites, if you have a video listing, it's much easier because you know how it works, how it functions, what it's going to be. So that image search is again something like you see some very nice shirt that you want to or something that you want, and you exactly don't know what it is. You just click a picture of it, go. It's similar to the Google image search. You go to a e-commerce site, put that picture, search for it, and then there you go. You get all the products that are similar to that. Live streaming is similar to what we are doing, live streaming on YouTube. Live streaming also happens on e-commerce. I haven't actually seen it in India yet, but it is catching up. So visual commerce, it is about to hit 81.88 billion by 2026. And where is India? India is somewhere behind. Not. It will pick up, I guess. Social commerce. So we did speak about this. Facebook and Instagram. They are doing a lot in social e-commerce. They have checkout mechanisms in Facebook. They have payment mechanisms coming up in Facebook where you can just shop. They have Facebook shops which came up recently where businesses can set up shops on Facebook. So it is competing a lot here. Social influencer marketing. This means Instagram. I've seen like a lot of people, they have followers, and especially for makeup products and stuff like that, they use Instagram, and they recommend products that this is what I used and you should be using this. So there are a lot of fan following who actually buy the products once because of the social influencing. Social commerce also, I'm just giving some examples here. I'm not sure if it is out in India yet, but during these big sales that happen here, like in India when it happens during Diwali or the billion day sale and things like that, here in Southeast Asia there are a lot of social commerce where you want to buy something, there's something called slash it. You ask people to slash it, and the number of people who slash it, like for say you want a phone and the phone needs 100 slashes, 100 people actually slash it for you and you get it for free. So it is more like publicity, and also many people come onto your platform. Group buy is something like I think in traditional days you used to buy bulk buy things, and when you buy in bulk, it is of course cheaper. So group buy very similar to that. You and your friends, a set of friends, want a same product. You get together and buy it as a group instead of paying 100 rupees for it, because you're buying 5 together. You're paying 80 rupees each. So that works. And a Chinese company called Pinduoduo. I think I'm pronouncing it right, but that is one of the companies that has come up very quickly to the second position in China, right after Alibaba, and they follow the social commerce. They are following this, group buy mechanisms and things, and it has really led to their growth. Coming to artificial intelligence, so I have broken down things like visual commerce and social commerce and artificial intelligence. These are the areas which is picking up in e-commerce, and I'm just giving you an introduction to these areas. But there are a lot of innovations happening, and all these innovative areas will require technology, and that's where all the engineers, all the intellectual heads come in and work hard to get to the next level. So artificial intelligence will reach to 7.3 billion per annum by 2022, up from estimated 2 billion. So what is artificial intelligence in e-commerce? So one very simple example to make you understand is this is the company I work in, Carousell. So I clicked a picture of a plant which I wanted to sell, and right after I selected the image and it got uploaded, it suggested me this category that I should sell it in the plant section. So now this is artificial intelligence. It takes the image, processes it, it finds out that it is a plant that you want to sell, and it auto suggests the plant. So next step after this, if I just click, it will suggest me the price that I should sell to, because it knows what people are selling at, and it suggests me a correct price that I should sell at. So that is artificial intelligence. Now where does artificial intelligence play a role? It helps in automated marketing. It helps in generating timely offers. Like it knows in India it is Diwali season, or in New Year season is when a lot of offers needs to be generated. So that it will auto generate things during that time. Customer service and chatbots. This is a very important space. There are a lot of costs in customer service agents, and um, having it all sorted out. So chatbots, what happens? It brings automation or artificial intelligence there. So you don't have a real person sitting and typing there, but rather a chatbot. And the chatbot is learning as and when you ask questions to it, it will start learning about those questions and answers. So in the company I work for, Lazada, chatbot actually helped replace so many customer service agents, and they could actually, take up more problematic areas to solve rather than the simple things like where can I do this, where can I do that kind of thing, how do I return a product. So those can be handled by chatbots. Sorry. Um, AI optimized pricing and discounting. So AI can also tell you how much of price you should be, like the thing I showed here. It can also tell you the discount that you can apply. And demand forecasting. This is very important. Sorry. So when you have big sales going on in e-commerce, you should try to forecast the demand, saying that okay, during Diwali many people will consume new clothes, they will buy new clothes, they are going to buy a lot of sweets and gifts. So that is something like demand forecasting. To give you an example, what demand forecasting went on is I visited Jakarta warehouse when I was working at Lazada, and there in the warehouse, I saw thousands of pillows lying in the racks. I had no idea what happened, why so many pillows were there, and then I went on to ask like, what's the story behind these pillows lying here? So they said no, during one of the sales, somebody forecasted that pillows is what will be in high demand. So we actually gotten so much pillows, but they have all remained unsold. So demand forecasting is also very important. Category prediction. Yeah, we did that. Next, personalization. Now, personalization is very important. Even if somebody remembers your name and addresses you, or talks to you personally, you really like it, don't you? So it's similar in e-commerce. 50% of shoppers say that personalized online experience is very important. So personalization goes at many levels. One example here is the categories that you see here: gardening and electronics and home. This is based on my usage of this app. So I keep going to gardening things and purchasing things there. So gardening comes to the top. But I don't go to some other categories like babies and kids. So that doesn't come onto the top for me. Grocery. So this is for grocery shopping. It's very important for personalization. It gives you the past purchases, and it's very easy to go to your past purchases and keep adding the same thing for your next purchase. Uh, is Let me check if are there any questions here?
No, ma'am, you just continue.
Okay, thanks. So next is, yeah, personalization again, just for you. It brings my past purchases and what I might like to purchase. The Maggie here, the price here is way costly. It's not a good personalization to put in here. They have lost the space, and which they could have used for something better. So personalization is like when you log into your app or you log into your website, what you see is most likely what you click. So you should get that right. Amazon, I really like is Amazon Pay. I have stopped paying my Airtel bills using the website or any of that site, Airtel website. I go to Amazon Pay. It already has my number. It will say. It will also tell me when my next bill is due and whether I want to pay. And I just go click one or two buttons and it's done. That's as simple. Personalization also means sending marketing or mails or discounts to you specifically knowing what you have bought in the past or what you may like to buy in future based on your searches. I think I need to go a little faster. It's time. Shoppertainment. This means shopping and entertainment combined. This is picking up a lot, especially during the COVID situation. People were homebound. They didn't have much interaction. So live streaming and other things really helped. People also communicate, see something during the lockdown, and actually shop during the live streaming session itself. There's also gamification where a lot of at least Southeast Asia and Chinese markets people like to game. You see anybody traveling in train, they're always gaming. So gaming has caught up here, and e-commerce players are not leaving it alone. They are adding games to their e-commerce platforms. Augmented reality. Now, augmented reality means there is some, using technology, there's reality coming in front of you. So one example was a magic mirror, which was introduced in Lazada. And this magic mirror means that's a photo of me using some lipstick before I buy. I usually don't buy, but then I just did this for fun because I was launching this product. And this means I want to test the shade of the lipstick and see how it looks on me. So I actually tried that, and it shows you how it looks on you, and then you can decide whether to buy that lipstick or not. So this is one example of augmented reality. Environmental topics. Now, 50% of consumers have stated that environmental concerns impact how they purchase, what they purchase. So a lot of things like the organic market picking up, the veganism picking up, all this is going to influence what you sell also, because what is the demand you should know, and only then you can fulfill it. So second hand market is something that is picking up a lot. I know that in the instance that you see that second hand market, oh no, those products are very cheap and dirty, and why should you use second hand? No, it is picking up. It is picking up big time. And one of the few of the areas that second hand market is picking up is branded luxury, where luxury products, they don't. It's not that you use for a month and dispose it. They are very good quality and they last long. So it makes sense to have it in the second hand market. Furnitures, cars, bikes, books, those which are not very personal use items, right? Second hand market is very good. So one of the products that I'm working on is luxury, branded luxury items in Carousell, and this is a screenshot of it where sellers sell his branded second luxury goods like Louis Vuitton bags and Gucci bags and watches. So this is market which is actually picking up. And post COVID, where all manufacturing was shut and luxury items were not available, at least in China. After it opened up, luxury items were out of stock, and people went to the second hand market to get luxury stuff. Next is O2O. I will quickly. O2O is online to offline or offline to online, where people shop either from online to offline or using QR codes or something like that. I'll just play this video. It's very interesting to see what goes in Amazon Go store.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store, so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything everything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So, how does it work? We use computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
Okay. My daughter saw this video and she said, "Wow, it's all free. I can pick up whatever I want." No, it makes it so simple. But yeah, there's a lot of technology behind it. And why I'm showing you all this is there's a lot of innovation that is happening, that is going to happen, and I think e-commerce industry is a really good place to be if you're for it. Coming to careers in e-com, this is not the list of all careers that you can have in e-commerce industry. This is just some of it that I've listed. Technical, there's a lot of technical, need in the e-commerce industry because everything is based on technology. So engineering, you have front end, back end, full stack, Android, iOS engineers, and a lot of things going on. System engineering, people who maintain the servers, the cloud, and all that. QA is quality assurance, testing, product management. This is a very interesting field where you decide how the product should be, what should it look like, how you should, release it, everything else. Engineering managers, program managers, that is what I am. UX designers, user research. User research is used to understand the market and how people are going to react to what you launch and what is the need. So all that. Data, this is very, very important because e-commerce actually is built on data. You should know like what the customers need, how many people are going to buy, how many customers are there for your weekly, annual, monthly, all that. So there are a lot of, this field itself is a big thing, analysts, engineers, scientists, so a lot of technology involved. Business, I'm sure many people, after engineering, they don't want to actually, they might have gotten because, like your parents forced you to get into engineering, but you're not interested in engineering. So what you do, you go and do your MBA afterwards. So even after business, there are a lot of opportunities in e-commerce industry. You can get into strategy, category management. Category management, simply put, is, a specific category you are going to manage, like, laptops. So you are going to manage that kind of thing. So you have business analysts, development, partnerships, marketing, operations, sales, lot of needs there. Finance and accounting, legal, HR. Yes, you need all this. Other than I had highlighted technical and business more because it is more suitable for the crowd that is attending this talk. But there are other areas also where there's huge employment: customer service, voice agents, customer experience people, logistics. Now we really, we don't know because we don't see it. But there are, I have visited a lot of warehouses, even grocery, back-end warehouses. There are a lot of people putting, like, they are picking up, putting your baskets, packing it, delivering it, last mile logistics, postage services. All these have really matured because of the e-commerce market. So yeah, you have warehouse managers, inventory managers, and then last but not the least, you have sellers. So example, 2-3 years back, before I came to Singapore, in Bangalore, I was visiting more supermarket, and I happened to meet my engineering classmate who was a computer science, studied with me, and he met me we just spoke, and he asked me what am I doing, and I asked him, and he said I'm a seller on Amazon. Simple, you know. I was, struggling, getting so many jobs, interviews, all that, but he had that business knack, and he was a seller on Amazon, and he himself is doing quite well. So it doesn't matter, whether because you have studied, you have to remain in the same field. But yes, you have for success there are different opportunities. That's what I would say. So there are a lot of people who are selling online, and then simple career tips. I will just take 2 minutes. If you get a chance for internship in your last semester, just take it. I have done internship in Alcatel Lucent here, and it was very good. Start somewhere and don't keep waiting for your dream job. You say, oh, I wanted to work in that company, I didn't get it, and just start somewhere. The industry right now, job market is not good, but there are hopes. It's not that all the doors are shut, but there's a lot of hope, and you should just start working if you want to work. I mean, if you don't want to study in future, higher studies. Keep learning new skills. Even after you get a job, it's not that, I finished engineering, I got a job, now I can relax. No, it doesn't work that way. IT, this industry is such that you have to keep learning, either new skills, new languages, new industries, you have to do it. You have to be updated with the industry. Network. This is one very important factor. I learned quite late in life, but network with your friends, your professors, your work, your work people, and even outside in friends. And please get on LinkedIn. That is where most of the jobs and recruiting happens. Create your profile there. And overall, I've seen the industry for 17 years experience. So I've seen the industry. Don't get disheartened if you're put on bench, or there's some pay cut for you, or you don't get a promotion in time, or you're given a pink slip. So there are jobs out there, and you will get it. I have given a lot of interviews, and I know how it is, but just don't stop giving interviews just because you failed in one interview or you didn't get through. You feel defeated only when you stop accepting or giving interviews. And work hard. I know most of you in the next generation are really smart, but hard work also matters. And keep your resume short. I've seen this happening a lot. Don't give pages and pages of resume just to say that you have worked so much. Keep it really short. People don't have time to look at your long resumes. Keep it one page, like maybe one side and the other side. So that's it. Keep it short and sweet. Don't keep it long. So that's it. It was really nice to be given a chance to talk here with the next generation that is coming into the industry. Good luck, all of you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks to your college for letting me speak here. Let's see if there are any questions now.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have a question here. So you pointed out that in 2040 it was 1.3 trillions, the figures, and in 2021 it is 4.5 trillions. It's almost a threefold growth over a short span of time, that is 7 years of span. So what do you think are the factors which have led to these figures?
There are multiple factors. So one factor is internet penetration, the mobile penetration. So if you see the world map here, where was it? This one. So if you see here, we know that the internet penetration, the mobile penetration is still lagging in many countries, and this is picking up now. The population is there, just that you are getting the population is getting the mobile handsets, it's getting the internet, you are also getting digital payments. Everything is just skyrocketing. So that is where the growth will be. There won't be much there will be growth, but not too much in already developed countries, because the growth is already done. But in developing countries, Brazil, India, Southeast Asia, these are the markets where there will be heavy growth.
So you mean to say the level of comfort what we have in doing the business or the customer friendly the website or the trust, right, ma'am? So and we have one more question. So
Yeah.
undeniably, the one of the biggest impact that what if not the biggest on e-commerce trends is our COVID-19, right? So with the government shutting down all the stores or implementing the lockdowns for months, right? So, how do you say that? Is it a kind of a short term boost to the e commerce industry? It's already
So,
growing one, but it's.
good question actually. So it won't be a short time boost. Part of it will be short time, like people who were, at least I never bought vegetables online. I don't like buying it online. But during COVID, yeah, at times I bought vegetables online because I thought it's safer. So after COVID, yeah, I will go back and buy vegetables normally. So few things are short-lived, but it has made an impact so much that, if think I am a person who had never shopped online, but during COVID, I started using some kind of payment and something on the mobile to shop online. And I felt it so simple. I don't need to go out, walk, take my bike or take my car, go out, park, and buy things which I can easily do using e-commerce, and I'm paying almost the same, or I pay even less to get the product home. So why would I actually go out? So it is. Some things are short-lived, but I don't think the overall thing is short-lived. E-commerce will penetrate much more during this COVID situation.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, the e-commerce and the technology go in hand in hand. We have seen that you spoke about the voice technology, how it is booming. Maybe I guess, if I'm not wrong, if you take the example of Amazon Echo, they have released, and even the augmented reality, right? The ARs. So they are
Yes,
joining with the e-commerce so that because the whoever the customers will get the feeling, the visual feeling, the visual prospect you spoke about that. So the technology and the e-commerce they go hand in hand. So thank you so much for joining us, ma'am, today. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you on behalf of our department, the Electronics and Communication Engineering at MITE, that is Mangalore Institute of Technology and Engineering. Thank you so much for your wonderful session, ma'am. So before we end this, do you want to give any concluding remarks?
yeah, sure. First of all, big thank you, shout out to Mike for asking me to speak here. It's always very humbling and exciting to talk to the next generation, because you are the people who will lead India or the world in next few years to come. So don't be disheartened by what's happening in the world. I know it's quite negative, but we will see the positive changes coming through. And you should, not have any negative thoughts of, oh, am I going to land in a job? Will I get a job? No, you will get a job, and you will learn things. Only thing is you should be able to accept the changes and, change according to whatever is happening. You can't stick to, saying, uh, I'm very passionate about C programming, and I will do C programming all my life. If that is your thing, fine, that is also possible. But you won't get so many opportunities by sticking to one thing. You should be open to change, and you should do things that you like. So that is what I would end. All the best for your careers ahead.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, ma'am. Thank you for your kind words. So, thank you so much, participants, for joining today and this session. Thank you so much. Thank you all the external participants and the internal participants and the students and the faculties who joined this session today. Thank you so much. Here we conclude this event. Thank you. Stay
Thank
safe.
you.